world.
And for more on this, I'm joined by Remi Piet, live from Miami. He's a senior director at research firm America's Market Intelligence. Remi, welcome back to Money Talks. Great to have you. Is cutting pensions absolutely necessary for Argentina in order for it to balance its budget?
Well, it is a political and economic choice from President Macri here. There is an obvious need of cutting down the deficit in Argentina. Has been growing exponentially now up to $40 billion a year. And that's not even factoring in the devaluation of the peso. So it's even harder for the government to come up to the money to be able to finance this deficit budget. Here, the decision has been to make a reform on the pension fund, which is to increase retirement age from 65 to 70 for men, 60 to 63 for women. Those are levels that are actually quite classic for other economies and industrialized countries also. Argentina needs to be able to jumpstart its economy after several years of the Kirchner administration that has put the economy in jeopardy. And obviously here the choice is to try to attract foreign investment inside the country.
Now, next on Macri's priority list are tax reforms and labor law reforms. How difficult is it going to be for him to push those through?
Well, he has the political mandate to do so. I mean, he has won recently the elections. He has shown also his capacity to try to implement policies in a climate of economic and political climate devoid of corruption compared to his predecessor. And now, obviously, those are very unpopular measures. And decreasing the taxation rate for corporation from 35% 25% is very popular among corporate sectors. But if it's at the expense of a series of reform on pension funds or indication, that's not going to go well with the streets. So he has to find and strike the right balance here in terms of what the country is ready to accept and what would be actually very effective in bringing in foreign investment from abroad. And the situation here in Argentina is a very favorable situation for investors. The devaluation of the peso has increased the capacity to export of the country. And if investors are interested in developing operation in Argentina, pending the fact that they actually take the right step to mitigate a series of different risks, the measures here taken from Macri are very favorable for them.
It's interesting that you talk about measures that he's taking to attract businesses. I mean, at the same time, there is a corruption scandal brewing that's been brewing for several years now in Argentina. How much of an impact is that having on the attractiveness of Argentina to foreign investment?
Well, there's different factors that you have to take into account here, some limiting factors and some key opportunities. In terms of the limiting factors, obviously, the level of corruption in the country has actually decreased, but it's still high compared to industrialized countries. The other limitation is obviously the lack of infrastructure here. You're seeing Argentina is in need of being able to find the right margins of maneuvers to be able to reinvest in the infrastructure of the country. And the objective from Argentina is to turn itself towards an export-driven economy. If you have the right climate for business, which is a lower corporate tax on companies and in development of the right workforce, and if you're able also to invest in infrastructure, then you have the recipe for success. Whether Macri will be able to push that agenda forward is still to be seen. But if you have, if you're in the infrastructure business today, you want to look at Argentina, you want to look at the capacity to try to develop some key public-private partnership, because there's now the implementation of a favorable business environment from the Macri administration.
Remi Piet, America's Market Intelligence. Thank you very much indeed.